on Maple Street in Elmwood. Elmwood was a quiet place. People went to work in the morning and came home at night. The houses were all the same, with white paint and green lawns. Isla was 30 years old. She worked at the local bank as a teller. Her days were the same every day. She woke up at 7 a.m., made coffee, drove to work, counted money, and drove home. She had no husband or kids. Her parents lived far away in another state. She talked to her cat, Whiskers, more than anyone else. One Tuesday evening, after a long day at the bank, Isla came home. The sun was setting, and the sky was orange. She unlocked the door and stepped inside. Whiskers meowed from the kitchen. Isla put her bag down and fed the cat. She made a sandwich for dinner and sat on the couch to watch TV. The news was on, talking about weather and local events. Nothing exciting. As she ate, she heard a sound. It was soft, like a whisper from the wall behind the couch. Isla, it said. She stopped chewing. Was that her name? She turned around. The wall was plain white, with a picture of a flower hanging. On it, no one was there. Whiskers looked up from his bowl but didn't seem to hear anything. Isla shook her head. I'm tired, she thought. Must be the TV. She finished her sandwich and turned off the lights. In bed, she read a book about birds. The house was quiet. But then, from the wall next to her bed, the whisper came again. Isla, come closer. Her heart beat a little faster. She sat up and listened. Nothing. She got out of bed and checked the window. It was locked. The neighbor's dog barked outside, but that was normal. Imagination, she said to herself. She turned off the light and tried to sleep. The next morning, Isla woke up feeling okay. She fed Whiskers and went to work. At the bank, she smiled at customers and counted their money. Mrs. Jenkins came in and talked about her garden. The roses are blooming, Mrs. Jenkins said. Isla nodded. That's nice. The day went by slowly. No one mentioned anything strange. That night back home, Isla made pasta for dinner. She sat at the table and ate. The whisper came again from the kitchen wall this time. Isla, I see you. She dropped her fork. It clattered on the plate. Whiskers ran under the table. Isla stood up and pressed her ear to the wall. It was cold and smooth. No sound. She laughed a little. What is wrong with me? She cleaned up and went to the living room. She turned on the TV louder this time. A show about cooking was on. But the whispers kept coming, faint and far away. Join me, Isla. She turned up the volume more. The show talked about making bread. Flour, water, yeast. Isla tried to focus, but her mind wandered. What if the house was old? Maybe pipes or something. Elmwood houses were built in the 1950s. Old wiring, old everything. She went to bed early. In the dark, she lay still. The whispers stopped. She fell asleep. Dreams came. In the dream, she was in the house, but the walls moved closer. Hands came out from the plaster, pale and thin. They reached for her. She woke up sweating. The clock said 2 a.m. Quiet. She sighed and went back to sleep. The next day was Wednesday. Work was the same. Customers, money, smiles. Isla told her co-worker Tom about the noises. Whispers? Like ghosts? Tom laughed. You're watching too many movies. Isla smiled. Yeah, probably. But inside she felt uneasy. After work, she stopped. At the store. She bought milk and bread. The cashier said, Have a good evening. Isla said, You too. Home again. Whiskers greeted her. Dinner was chicken from the fridge. As she heated it in the microwave, the whisper came from the oven wall. Isla, don't eat that. She froze. The microwave beeped. She took the plate out with shaking hands. It looked fine. She ate anyway. It tasted normal. That night she called her mom on the phone. Mom, the house makes noises. Her mom said, Houses. Do that, dear. Wind or settling. Isla said, Okay. They talked about the weather. Mom said it was raining where she was. Isla hung up and felt better. Maybe it was nothing, but as she brushed her teeth, the bathroom wall whispered, "I'm inside now." She spit out toothpaste and stared at the mirror. Her face looked pale. "Stop it," she said to herself. She checked the doors. All locked. Windows, too. She turned on all the lights and sat on the couch until midnight. No more whispers. She went to bed, leaving the hall light on. Thursday morning. Work. Bank. Same routine. Isla counted money slowly. Her mind was on the house. Tom asked if she was okay. "Just tired," she said. Lunch was a salad from the cafe next door. Lettuce, tomatoes, dressing. Bland evening. Home. The whispers started as soon as she walked in. "Isla, look behind you." She spun around. Nothing. Whiskers hissed at the corner. Isla's heart raced. She picked up the cat and held him. "It's okay, boy." But Whiskers squirmed away. She decided to ignore it. Made tea. Sat down. The TV was on a documentary about history. Old wars, old kings. Boring. The whispers mixed with the narrator's voice. "Isla, they can't save you." She turned off the TV. Silence. Then more whispers. Isla went to the basement. It was dark down there. She turned on the light. Boxes of old stuff. Her grandma's books. Dust. No one there. The walls were concrete. No whispers. She felt silly. Back upstairs. Bedtime. She took a sleeping pill from the cabinet. It was for bad nights. She swallowed it with water. Lay down. The pill made her drowsy, but before sleep, the whisper came from under the bed. "I'm here. Touch me." Isla didn't look. She closed her eyes tight. Morning came. Friday. Work. The week was almost over. Customers were nice. One man forgot his wallet. Isla waited patiently. "No problem," she said. After work, she drove around Elmwood. The town was small. Park, school, shops, normal. She stopped at the library, borrowed a book on home repairs, maybe fix the walls. Home, dinner, soup from a can, hot and steamy. The whisper from the fridge. "It's cold in here, with me." She ate fast. Cleaned up fast. That night she read the repair book. Cracks in walls, insulation, simple fixes. She marked pages, felt in control. The whispers came softly. "Isla, read to me." She ignored them, turned pages. Sleep came hard. Dreams again. Walls breathing. Whispers loud. She woke up once. 3 a.m. Went to the bathroom. Looked in the mirror. Her eyes were red. "Get a grip," she whispered. Saturday. No work. Isla cleaned the house, vacuumed rugs, washed dishes. Whiskers watched. The whispers were there, in every room. "Clean me too, Isla." She dusted the shelves, found an old photo of her as a kid, smiling. Lunch was toast. Afternoon, she walked Whiskers on a leash in the yard. Neighbors waved. Mr. Patel next door said, "Nice day." Isla said, "Yes." The yard was small. Grass, fence, tree, evening. She tried to cook something new, rice and vegetables. The stove wall whispered, "Burn it all." The food was okay. Not great, night. She watched a movie, old one about a family, happy ending. Whispers during the credits, "No happy for you." Sunday, church in the morning. Pastor talked about faith. Isla prayed for quiet. Lunch with friends at the diner. Sally and Mark. They ate burgers, talked about jobs. "Bank must be boring," Sally said. Isla nodded. Sometimes, home, nap, whispers and dreams. Afternoon, she called a plumber. "Noises in walls?" The man said, "Could be pipes. I'll come tomorrow." Relief, dinner, salad again, TV news, storm coming, whispers, storm inside you, bed, pill again, sleep. Monday. Plumber came, looked around. "Pipe's fine," he said. "Maybe rats." He set traps. Left $100 bill. Work, told Tom. He joked, "Ghost rats." Isla didn't laugh. Evening. Traps empty, whispers louder. "Isla, I'm not a rat." She sat in the dark, listened. The voice was like a woman's, soft, sad. "Help me." Trapped. Isla spoke to the wall. "Who are you?" Silence. Then, "Your shadow, always with you." She turned on lights, paced, called Mom again. "Sounds like a voice." Mom said, "See a doctor. Stress. Tuesday." Doctor appointment. Dr. Lee listened. Anxiety. Try therapy. Prescribed pills. Work. Pills made her sleepy. Customers blurred. Home. Whiskers sick. Vomited. Vet tomorrow. Whispers. He knows me. Night. Cried. Held cat. This went on. Days blended. Whispers every night. Work dull. Friends noticed. "You look tired." Isla nodded. 1 week later she found a crack in the bedroom wall. Small, like a smile. Isla woke up Wednesday morning to the sound of her alarm. 7 a.m. Same as always. She rubbed her eyes, feeling heavy from the sleeping pills. Whiskers was curled up at the foot of the bed, but his ears twitched like he was listening to something. She got up, fed him, and made coffee. The kitchen smelled of toast from yesterday. She opened the fridge. Milk, eggs, a half-empty jar of jam. Breakfast was cereal, crunchy, plain. The crack in the bedroom wall was still there. She noticed it last night. It was small, about the length of her finger near the corner by the window. It looked like a thin smile in the plaster. She touched it, cold. She grabbed the home repair book from the nightstand and flipped to the section on walls. "Hairline cracks can form from settling," it said. "Fill with caulk." She didn't have caulk. She'd buy some later. Work was slow. The bank smelled of paper and coffee. Customers came and went. Old Mr. Thompson deposited a check. "Retirement." "Money," he said, smiling. Isla nodded. "Good for you." Her hands moved automatically, counting bills. Her mind was on the crack. And the whispers. Last night's voice. Your shadow. Always with you. Stuck in her head. She hadn't told Dr. Lee about that part. Too weird. At lunch, she ate a turkey sandwich from the cafe next door. The bread was dry. She sat with Tom in the break room. He was reading a car magazine. "Fixed your ghost problem yet?" he asked, not looking up. Isla forced a laugh. "Not yet." Plumber said rats. Tom snorted. "Rats don't whisper names." She didn't reply. The sandwich sat heavy in her stomach. After work, Isla drove to the hardware store. The clerk, a man with a gray beard, helped her find caulk. "For walls?" he asked. She nodded. "Old house stuff." He rang her up. $5.99. Outside, the sky was gray. A storm was coming, like the news said. Elmwood felt smaller today, the streets too quiet. At home, Whiskers was acting strange. He didn't eat his food. He sat by the living room wall, staring at it. His tail flicked fast. Isla knelt beside him. "What's wrong, boy?" He hissed and ran upstairs. She followed. He was in the bedroom, pawing at the crack. It looked bigger now, maybe 2 fingers long. She frowned. Houses settle, sure, but this fast? She grabbed the caulk tube and read the instructions. Apply to clean, dry surface. She'd do it tomorrow. Dinner was pasta again. She boiled water, stirred sauce. The kitchen wall whispered, "Isla, it's deeper than you think." She dropped the spoon. Sauce splattered on the counter. Whiskers yowled from the hallway. Her heart pounded. "Stop," she said to the air. No answer. She cleaned the mess and ate in silence. The pasta was overcooked. After dinner, she decided to learn about the house. Maybe old pipes or wiring explained the noises. She grabbed her laptop and sat on the couch. Whiskers jumped, up, eyes wide, staring at the wall behind her. She ignored him and searched online. Elmwood house history. Not much came up. The town's website had a page about the 1950s when Maple Street was built. Family homes for a growing town, it said. No details about her house, number 42. She tried another search. 42 Maple Street, Elmwood. A few old real estate listings popped up. The house was sold in 1995, 2003, and 2010. No names of owners. One listing mentioned minor repairs needed. Nothing else. She sighed and closed the laptop. Whiskers was still staring at the wall. "You're freaking me out," she told him. He didn't move. She called Mr. Patel, her neighbor. He'd lived on Maple Street forever. "Hi, Mr. Patel. Do you know anything about my house?" "Like who?" "Lived here before." He paused. "Old place. Families mostly. Don't remember much. There was a woman, maybe 20 years ago. Lived alone. Quiet. Moved away." Isla pressed. "Anything weird about the house?" Mr. Patel laughed. "Weird? It's just a house. Ask at the library. They've got records." She thanked him and hung up. The whispers came again as she brushed her teeth. "Isla, check the crack." She froze, toothbrush in hand. The bathroom mirror showed her tired face. She didn't want to look at the crack, but she did. Back in the bedroom, it was definitely bigger. 3 fingers long now. A faint shadow seemed to move inside it, but it was probably the light. She grabbed the caulk and smeared some over the crack. It looked messy, but it covered it. "Done," she said. She went to bed. Sleeping pill, lights off. Whiskers slept downstairs, which was odd. He always slept with her. At 2 a.m. she woke up. A scratching sound came from the wall. Not whispers, scratching, like nails on plaster. She sat up, heart racing. The caulk was still there, but a thin line of dust trickled from the crack. It was growing again, splitting the caulk. She stared. Something moved inside. Not a shadow. Something pale, like a finger, pushed against the crack and then pulled back. Isla screamed. She jumped out of bed and ran to the living room. Whiskers was there, hissing at the ceiling. She grabbed her phone and called Tom. No answer. It was 2 a.m. She texted him. "Something's wrong with my house." No reply. She sat on the couch, lights on, until morning. The scratching stopped. The whispers didn't. Thursday. Work. She was late. Forgot to set the alarm. Her boss, Mrs. Carter, frowned but didn't say anything. Isla counted money badly. Gave a customer $10 too much. Mrs. Carter noticed. "Focus, Isla." She nodded. Lunch was a granola bar. She didn't feel like eating. After work, she went to the library. The librarian, Ms. Gray, was old and wore glasses. "House records?" Ms. Gray pointed to a back room. "Old files are there, not digitized." Isla spent an hour looking through dusty folders. She found a record for 42 Maple Street, built 1952. Owners, Johnson family, 1952-1980. Mary Ellis, 1980-2000. Others after. Mary Ellis. That must be the woman Mr. Patel mentioned. No details about her, just a name. Isla asked Ms. Gray, "Know anything about Mary Ellis?" Ms. Gray shook her head. "Before my time. Try the town hall. They've got more." Isla thanked her and left. The library smelled of old paper. Outside, rain started. The storm was here. Home. Whiskers was under the couch. He wouldn't come out. She made soup for dinner. The can opener was loud. The whispers were louder. Isla. Mary. Knows. She froze. Mary? Mary Ellis? She didn't eat the soup. It got cold on the table. She checked the crack. The caulk was split wide open. The crack was longer, almost a foot now. Something glistened inside. She grabbed a flashlight, shined it in. The light showed nothing but plaster and dust. But the air felt wrong, heavy. She backed away. That night she didn't take a pill. Couldn't sleep anyway. The scratching came again, louder, from inside the wall. Whiskers yowled downstairs. Isla stayed in bed, eyes on the crack. It didn't move, but she felt watched. Friday morning, vet visit. Whiskers was sick. The vet said, "Stress. Cats sense things. Keep him calm." Isla paid $80, drove home. Work was a blur. She left early. Mrs. Carter wasn't happy. At home, she called the town hall. "Records for Mary Ellis?" The clerk said, "Come tomorrow. We're closing." Isla hung up. The whisper started as she made tea. Mary's here right with you. She spilled the tea. Hot water burned her hand. She cursed and ran it under cold water. The crack was bigger by bedtime, 1.5 feet. She didn't touch it. Whiskers hid in the basement. She left him there. In bed she heard it. Not whispers, not scratching. A voice clear as day from the wall. Isla, I'm coming out. Isla woke up Saturday morning with a headache. The clock said 7:30 a.m. She hadn't set the alarm. Whiskers wasn't on the bed. She found him in the basement, curled up on an old rug, eyes wide. Come on, boy, she said. He didn't move. She left food out and made coffee. The kitchen was cold. She ate toast with jam. The bread was stale, but she didn't care. The crack in the bedroom wall was on her mind. Last night's voice, Isla, I'm coming out, kept repeating in her head. She checked the crack. It was longer, almost 2 feet now, stretching toward the ceiling. The caulk was useless, split and crumbling. Something dark smeared the edges. She didn't touch it. Her stomach felt tight. She dressed in jeans and a sweater. The town hall opened at 9 a.m. She drove there, passing the same Elmwood streets. Park, school, diner. The rain from yesterday left puddles. The air smelled wet. At the town hall, a brick building with a flag out front, she parked and went inside. The clerk, a woman with short hair, sat at a desk. Records for 42 Maple Street? Isla asked. The clerk nodded and pointed to a file room. Old stuff's in there. Help yourself. Isla spent an hour flipping through folders. Dusty, yellowed papers, deeds, tax records. She found 42 Maple Street. Mary Ellis owned it from 1980 to 2000. One line caught her eye. Property vacated after incident, 2000. No details. No mention of what happened to Mary. Another paper listed a hospital stay in 1999. Mary Ellis, admitted for mental distress. That was it. Isla's hands shook as she closed the folder. Mental distress? Like her? She asked the clerk. No? Anything about Mary Ellis? The clerk shrugged. Heard she was odd. Kept to herself. People said she talked to walls. Isla's throat went dry. Thanks, she mumbled and left. Outside, the sky was gray again. A crow cawed from a tree. Back home, Whiskers was worse. He hissed when she tried to pet him. His food was untouched. She called the vet. Bring him in Monday, they said. She sighed. Lunch was a peanut butter sandwich. She ate at the kitchen table, staring at the wall. No whispers, but the silence felt heavy. Work was off today, Saturday. She cleaned the house instead, vacuumed the living room, dusted shelves, found another old photo in a drawer, her as a teenager, with her mom. They were smiling at a park. She put it back. The crack in the bedroom was bigger every time she checked. 2.5 feet now. It curved slightly, like a frown. Afternoon, she went to the diner with Sally. They sat in a booth. Sally ordered a burger. Isla got soup. Tomato. Watery. Sally talked about her new job at the school. Kids are loud, she said. Isla nodded, barely listening. The whisper started again, faint from the diner's wall. Isla, she's here. No one else heard. Sally kept talking. Isla sipped her soup. It tasted like nothing. Back home, she tried to relax. Watched TV. A show about gardening. Roses, tulips, soil, boring. Whiskers scratched at the basement door. She let him out. His fur was matted. What's wrong with you? She asked. He ran upstairs. She followed. He was at the crack, clawing it. Dust fell. The crack was 3 feet now. Something smelled sour, like old milk. She grabbed Whiskers. He yowled and scratched her hand. A thin red line appeared. Ow! She dropped him. He ran under the bed. Her hand stung. She washed it in the bathroom. The mirror showed her tired eyes. Get it together, she told herself. Dinner was rice and beans. She cooked slowly, stirring the pot. The kitchen wall whispered, Isla, Mary's waiting. She turned on the radio, loud music, country song about trucks. The whispers stopped. She ate at the table, fork scraping the plate. Evening. She read the repair book again. Nothing about cracks that grow daily. She searched online, house cracks moving. Results said foundation issues or call a contractor. She called one, left a voicemail. Hi, I'm Isla at 42 Maple Street. My wall's cracking. Can you check it? No call back yet. Night came. She sat on the couch, lights on. Whiskers stayed under the bed. The TV was on a movie. Old romance. She didn't care. The whispers were louder now, from every wall. Isla opened the crack. She ignored them. Picked up her phone. Texted Tom. House is worse. Scared. He replied, come stay with me tomorrow. Relief. She'd go after church. Bedtime. No pill. She couldn't keep taking them. She lay in bed staring at the crack. It was longer, almost 4 feet, reaching the ceiling. The sour smell was stronger. She heard scratching again from inside the wall. Then a thump. Something fell in the kitchen. She ran downstairs. A glass cup was on the floor, shattered. She hadn't touched it. It was on the counter before. Her hands shook as she swept it up. Whiskers watched from the doorway, eyes glowing. Back in bed, she pulled the covers tight. The whispers came, clear and close. Isla, I broke it. I'll break more. She didn't sleep. The crack seemed to pulse in the dark. Morning came. Slow Sunday. Church. Pastor talked about fear. God is stronger, he said. Isla prayed hard, felt nothing. Lunch at the diner again, alone this time. Salad, lettuce, cucumber, dressing, tasteless. The whispers followed her there. Mary's close. She paid and left, home. Whiskers was in the basement again. The crack was 5 feet now. A thin, pale mist leaked from it. Not dust, not smoke, something else. Isla backed away. Her hand still stung from the scratch. She called Tom. Can I come now? He said. Sure, pack a bag. She grabbed clothes, toothbrush, Whiskers carrier. He fought going in, hissing loud. She locked the house and drove to Tom's. The whispers stayed behind. For now. Isla arrived at Tom's house Sunday evening. His place was on Oak Street, a small apartment above a bookstore. It smelled of coffee and old pages. Tom let her in, smiling. You look like you need a break, he said. Isla nodded, clutching Whiskers' carrier. The cat was quiet, eyes darting. Tom's couch was lumpy but soft. He gave her a blanket and a pillow. Sleep here, I'll take the chair. Dinner was pizza. Tom ordered pepperoni. They ate at his small table, paper plates. Isla picked at her slice. Thanks for this, she said. Tom shrugged. No problem. What's up with your house? She told him about the crack, the whispers, the broken glass. He frowned. Sounds creepy. Ever hear about that lady who lived there? Mary something? Isla's heart skipped. Mary Ellis? Tom nodded. Yeah, my dad mentioned her once. Said she was weird, always muttering. Disappeared one day. Isla swallowed. Disappeared? Tom shrugged again. Yeah, just gone. Ask my dad if you want. She didn't push. Whiskers scratched at the carrier. She let him out. He hid under Tom's couch. Isla felt bad for him. She thanked Tom and lay down. The apartment was quiet. No whispers. She fell asleep fast. No pill. Needed. Dreams came. She was in her house, but the walls were soft, like skin. The crack in the bedroom pulsed, oozing a thick black liquid. A voice whispered, Isla, I'm out now. She woke up sweating. Tom's clock said 3 a.m. She heard a faint sound, like a sigh from the apartment wall. Not her house. Here. She pulled the blanket tighter. It stopped. She didn't sleep again. Monday morning, Tom made coffee. Isla drank it black. Breakfast was cereal, cornflakes, milk. Tom went to work. Isla took Whiskers to the vet. The vet checked him. Still stressed? She said. Maybe. New environment. Isla paid $50, drove to work. The bank was the same. Customers, money, smiles. Mrs. Carter asked, You okay? Isla lied. Fine. Lunch was a yogurt from the cafe. It tasted sour. After work, she drove back to her house. just to check. The street was quiet. Maple trees swayed in the wind. She unlocked the door. Whiskers stayed in the carrier. Inside, the air was stale. The crack in the bedroom was huge now, 6 feet, floor to ceiling. Black ooze dripped from it, pooling on the floor. It smelled like rot. Isla gagged. She grabbed a rag and tried to wipe it. The ooze stuck to her fingers, cold and slimy. She washed her hands in the bathroom, scrubbing hard. The water ran gray. The whispers started. Isla, you touched me. She froze. The voice was louder, almost a hiss. She checked the house. Doors locked, windows shut. Whiskers yowled in the carrier. She went to the basement. The traps the plumber set were empty, dust everywhere. She found an old box labeled M. Ellis. Inside, a photo. A woman, maybe 40, pale, with dark eyes. She stared at the camera, no smile. Isla's hands shook. Was this Mary, upstairs? A crash. She ran to the kitchen. A plate was in pieces on the floor. Not hers. It was old, cracked, with a floral pattern. She didn't own anything like that. Her heart raced. Hello? She called. No answer. The whispers came again. Mine. You broke it. She swept up the pieces, hands trembling. A shard cut her finger. Blood dripped. She wrapped it in a towel. She grabbed Whiskers and left. Back to Tom's. He was home, eating chips. You're pale, he said. She told him about the crack, the ooze, the plate. He frowned. That's not normal. Call someone. Like a priest or something. Isla laughed, nervous. A priest? Tom shrugged. Or a contractor. That ooze sounds bad. Dinner was takeout. Chinese, fried rice, soggy. Isla ate little. Whiskers hid again. She called a contractor. Can you check a wall crack? The man said. Wednesday earliest. $200 inspection. She agreed. Hung up. The whispers came faintly from Tom's bedroom wall. Isla, I followed you. She turned on the TV. Loud. A game show. People laughed. She didn't. Bedtime. Couch. Again. Whiskers stayed under furniture. Dreams came. The crack was a mouth speaking. Mary's here. With you. Isla woke at 4 a.m. Her finger throbbed. The cut was red, swollen. She rinsed it. Took a painkiller. No sleep after that. Tuesday. Work. She miscounted money twice. Mrs. Carter sighed. Take a day off tomorrow. Isla nodded. Lunch was a bagel. Dry. She called Tom's dad. Mr. Reed, I'm Isla. About Mary Ellis? He paused. Sad woman. Lived alone. Heard voices, people said. Left town suddenly. Or died. Nobody's sure. Isla's stomach dropped. Died? Mr. Reed coughed. Rumor. Don't know more. She thanked him. Back at Tom's, she tried to relax. Watched a cooking show. Pasta, sauce, herbs. Boring. Whiskers scratched the couch. His eyes were wild. She fed him. He didn't eat. The whispers came again, faint. Isla, home. She shivered. Tom came home. You staying tomorrow? She nodded. One more night. Dinner was sandwiches. Ham, cheese, bread, tasteless. She checked her finger. Still red. She bandaged it. Tom watched a movie. Action. Loud explosions. The whispers hid in the noise. Come back. I'm waiting. Wednesday morning. Isla drove home. The contractor was coming. She needed to be there. The house felt wrong. Quiet, but heavy. Whiskers stayed in the car. The crack was 7 feet now. The ooze was thicker, spreading across the floor. It moved, slowly, like it was alive. She stepped back. The whispers were loud. Isla, touch it again. She didn't. The contractor arrived. Big man, toolbox. That's a bad crack, he said. He poked it. Ooze stuck to his tool. He frowned. Not water, not mold. Weird. He took a sample. I'll test it. $300 for full check. Isla agreed. He left. She locked the house, drove back to Tom's. The whispers followed, faint in the car. You can't leave. Isla woke up Wednesday at Tom's apartment. The clock said 6:45 a.m. Her finger throbbed under the bandage. She unwrapped it. The cut was still red, puffy. She sighed and made coffee. Tom was already up, eating toast. You going back? Today? He asked. Isla nodded. Have to. Contractor's calling. She ate cereal. Dry flakes, no milk. Her stomach was too tight for more. Whiskers was under the couch, quiet. She coaxed him out with a treat. He ate slowly, eyes darting. You're scaring me, boy, she said. She packed his carrier and her bag. Tom said, call if it's weird. She nodded and drove home. Elmwood streets were the same, wet from rain, gray sky. The diner's neon sign blinked. At 42 Maple Street, the house felt colder. She let Whiskers out. He ran to the basement. She didn't follow. The crack in the bedroom was worse. 8 feet now, splitting the wall like a wound. The black ooze had spread, pooling wider on the floor. It smelled worse, like dead leaves and something sharp. She stayed away. The whispers started as she stood. There. Isla, remember the dark? Her heart skipped. The dark? A memory flickered. Hiding in a closet as a kid, scared, hearing her name. She shook it off. Not real, she whispered. The contractor called at 10 a.m. Got the test results, he said. Weird stuff. Not mold, not oil. Lab says unknown. Organic compound. I'd need more tests. $500. Isla's throat was dry. Organic? He grunted. Yeah, like alive, maybe. I'll come back Friday if you want. She agreed and hung up. Alive? Her skin crawled. Work was off today, as Mrs. Carter suggested. Isla cleaned instead, wiped counters, swept floors. The kitchen smelled of bleach. Lunch was a sandwich, bread, turkey, mustard. She ate at the table, staring at the wall. The whispers came, soft. Isla, you hid from me. That memory again. A closet, her mom yelling, a shadow outside the door. She was 6. Why now? She went to check Whiskers. The basement door was open. She called, Whiskers? No answer. She went down. The basement was dark, dusty, boxes, old furniture, no cat. Panic hit. Whiskers! She searched every corner. Nothing. Back upstairs, she checked every room. Closets, under the bed. Gone. Her chest tightened. She sat on the couch, breathing hard. The whispers laughed low and cold. He's with me now. She called Tom. Whiskers is gone. Her voice shook. Tom said, Cats hide. Check again. I'll come after work. She hung up and searched more. Kitchen, bathroom, attic. No. Whiskers. The crack in the bedroom seemed to watch her. The ooze glistened. She swore it moved, rippling. She backed away. Dinner was soup. Canned chicken noodle. She heated it, stirring slowly. The microwave hummed, the whispers mixed with it. Isla, look in the glass. She froze. Glass? The bathroom mirror was across the hall. She didn't want to look, but her feet moved. The mirror was old, spotted. Her reflection looked pale, eyes red. Something flickered behind her, a shadow, tall, thin. She spun around. Nothing. The mirror cracked, a sharp snap. A jagged line ran across it. She gasped and stepped back. Her foot slipped on the tile. She fell, hitting her elbow hard. Pain shot through her arm. She sat on the floor, cradling her elbow. Blood seeped from a scrape. The whispers were louder. You can't run. I know you. She crawled to the living room, shaking. The phone rang. Tom. Found Whiskers? She said, No, mirror broke. I fell. He paused. I'm coming now. Tom arrived in 20 minutes. He checked the house. No cat, he said. That crack's bad. And the mirror? Weird. Isla showed him her elbow. He bandaged it. Stay at my place again. She shook her head. I need to fix this. Tom frowned. Fix what? It's not normal. They ate takeout. Burgers, fries, greasy. Isla barely ate. Tom said, My dad mentioned Mary again. Said she was in the hospital a lot. heard voices, thought the house was alive. Isla's stomach dropped. Alive? Tom nodded. Yeah. Crazy, right? Night came. Tom left. Isla locked the doors. The whispers were everywhere now. Isla, you were small, scared, like me. That childhood memory again. Hiding in the closet, her mom angry about something. A shadow, calling her name. She shook her head. Stop it, she yelled. The house went quiet. She found Whiskers at midnight. He was in the basement behind a box, trembling. His fur was sticky, like he'd touched the ooze. She cleaned him with a towel. He hissed but let her hold him. She took him to bed. The crack was 9 feet now, almost touching the floor again. The ooze smelled stronger. She didn't look at. Its sleep was impossible. The whispers sang, soft and cruel. Isla, I was alone. Like you. She saw the shadow again, in the broken mirror's reflection as she passed the bathroom. Tall, thin, with dark eyes. Gone when she looked closer. Her elbow ached. Her finger was worse. The cut now black at the edges. Thursday morning. Work. She was late again. Mrs. Carter glared. Last warning, Isla. She nodded, counting money badly. Customers complained. Lunch was a granola bar, crumbs on her desk. The whispers followed her to the bank. You're mine now. No one heard. Isla woke Thursday morning, her elbow and finger throbbing. The clock said 7:15 a.m. Whiskers was curled up beside her, but his eyes were wide, staring at the bedroom wall. The crack was massive now, nearly 10 feet, splitting the wall, from floor to ceiling. The black ooze dripped steadily, pooling in a sticky mess on the floor. It smelled like rot and metal. Isla's stomach churned. She fed Whiskers, who barely touched his food, and made coffee. The kitchen was cold. Breakfast was toast, dry, no jam. She ate quickly, avoiding the wall's gaze. The whispers started as she dressed for work. Isla, you can't stop me. They were loud, almost a shout, coming from every room. She ignored them, pulling on a sweater. Her finger's cut was worse, black lines spreading under the skin. She wrapped it tightly, wincing. Work was a blur. She counted money wrong again. Mrs. Carter snapped, "Take tomorrow off. Sort yourself out." Isla nodded, silent. Lunch was a salad from the cafe. Lettuce, tomato, no flavor. The whispers followed her there. You're like me. Afraid. After work, she drove home. Elmwood was quiet. The streets empty. The sky was heavy with clouds. She parked at 42 Maple Street and sat in the car, staring at the house. It looked normal. White paint, green lawn, but felt alive, watching her. Whiskers hissed in his carrier. She took a deep breath and went inside. The air was thick like breathing soup. She checked the crack. It pulsed, the ooze bubbling slightly. The whispers screamed, "Isla, I'm here." She backed away, heart pounding. She had to end this. She went to the basement, remembering the box labeled M. Ellis. Maybe answers were there. She dug through dusty boxes, finding the one from before. Inside the photo of Mary, she found something new. A folded letter, yellowed and brittle. She opened it. The handwriting was shaky. My name is Mary Ellis. The house speaks. It wants me. I hear it in the walls calling my name. I hid as a child like it knows. It's in the crack. I tried to seal it. It's stronger than me. If you find this, leave. Isla's hands shook. Hid as a child? Her own memory flashed. 6 years old, in a closet, hearing her name in the dark. Was it this house? She'd lived in Elmwood as a kid, but not here. Or had she visited? The memory was blurry. The whispers roared. You were here. With me. The house shook, a low rumble. Dust fell from the ceiling. Isla ran upstairs. The crack was splitting wider, the wall cracking like glass. The ooze poured out, spreading across the floor. A pale hand reached from the crack, fingers long and thin. Clawing at the air. Isla screamed, stumbling back. The hand retreated, but the whispers laughed. You can't leave. Like me. She grabbed the repair book, desperate. Seal cracks with cement, it said. She remembered the hardware store bag, caulk, but also a small bag of quick-set cement from last week. She ran to the kitchen, mixed it with water in a bucket. The whispers screamed, "No, stop!" The house shook again. A picture frame fell, shattering. Whiskers yowled, hiding under the couch. Isla carried the bucket to the bedroom. The crack was a gaping mouth now, ooze dripping like blood. The hand appeared again, reaching for her. She smeared cement over the crack, hands shaking. The ooze burned her skin like acid. She cried out but kept going, packing cement into the gap. The whispers turned to wails. "Isla, don't!" The hand grabbed her wrist, cold and strong. She yanked free, smearing more cement. The crack closed slowly, the ooze slowing to a trickle. The hand vanished. The wails faded to whispers, then silence. She collapsed, panting. The cement dried, gray and rough. The crack was sealed, but the wall looked scarred. Whiskers crept out, sniffing the air. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Friday, no work. Isla cleaned the ooze from the floor. It stained the wood. She ate cereal, milk gone sour, called Tom. "I sealed it," she said. He sounded relieved. "Good. Stay at my place tonight." I just agreed. She packed a bag, grabbed Whiskers, checked the house, doors locked, windows shut. The cement held, no whispers. She drove to Tom's. Dinner was pasta, store-bought sauce. Tasteless. Tom asked, "It's over?" Isla shrugged. "Maybe." Her finger was still black, the cut oozing slightly. She didn't tell him. Saturday. She went back to check the house. The cement was cracked, a thin line splitting it. No ooze, but the air felt heavy again. Whiskers hissed at the wall. Isla's heart sank. She called a priest. "Can you bless a house?" He said, "Sunday after church." She thanked him. Sunday. Church. The priest talked about hope. Isla didn't feel it. Lunch at the diner, alone. Burger, cold fries. The priest came to the house at 3 p.m. He prayed, sprinkled water. The wall stayed silent. He said, "Call if it's worse." She nodded. Monday, work. Mrs. Carter was nicer. "Better?" Isla lied. "Yes." She counted money slowly. Lunch was a yogurt. The whispers were gone, but her finger hurt. Black lines spread further. She hid it with a bandage. Home. The crack was still sealed, but the cement was crumbling. She touched it. A faint whisper came, so soft she barely heard. "Isla, I'm still here." She backed away. Whiskers watched the wall. She didn't sleep that night. The days went on. Work, meals, routine, cereal, soup, sandwiches. Elmwood stayed quiet. The crack didn't grow, but the whispers came sometimes, faint at night. "You're mine." Her finger never healed. She stopped looking in mirrors. The shadows moved.